Well, good evening. Welcome to another The Dudley Hilton Show. We talk University of Pikeville Bears football. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, joined by the coach of our University of Pikeville Bears. He retired as the winningest all-time coach in Kentucky high school football history. 3 state championships, over 350 career wins. He's our coach, Dudley Hilton. And Coach, coming off a tough loss, long road trip at Bethel, let's take a moment. And I want you to take us to that road trip back to Pikeville after a loss like that. What goes through a coach's mind?
Well, you do a lot of second guessing yourself, and a lot of, it brings you down pretty good to your knees, real humble. Remind me a lot of my high school days when I used to get my brains beat out. But I don't know. It's just wondering what you can do as a coach to try to help this situation, and how you're going to pull the, you took about 70 kids with you, and how can you pull them back together and get back to work, and just, like I said, it's just, you just start guessing yourself on some things. But again, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good family situation for your family and everything else. But again, the good Lord's blessed us with health, and you just got to get up the next day and go back to work and see, just go back at it.
You talk about family, and I know you look at the team, the locker room, it's all family, but it's truly hard for you to get away from it because you've got one of your players that goes home with you too, and it's truly a family situation. Do you, John Dudley, Jan, do you guys talk about the games once you do get back home, or is that off limits?
Well, we try. John Dudley don't come around. He's a college student. He stays in the dorm, and he don't come. But Jan and I talk about it sometimes. Most time it's not something that I want to hear, or something that I don't say the right thing. But again, we're going through something in our family that we haven't tasted in 25 years. But again, it can make us a closer family, and it's going to. But we're not going to accept this thing right now. We're trying to win some football games, and I take my losses hard. And once I start accepting them, Andrew, I might as well go on and try to find something else to do. And I'm not going to accept it. We're going to try to keep on, and we're going to fix this situation. And I've had a year and a half now, and sometimes I wonder, but we still look back on it. We're 3-4. We've lost to two top ranked teams in the country in the NAIA, and this Bethel team's a good football team, good football program, and they were ready for us, and I thought we was ready for them, but we just couldn't get things rolling, and we just. Right now, we got to get some things rolling. We look good for a quarter and a half, and then we keep waiting on the offense to do something. The offense keep waiting on the defense to keep stopping them, and we're all waiting on each other instead of stepping up and everybody do something about it. And like I said, we're going to try to fix this thing.
3-4 very easily could be 5-2.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Very easily, and again, it could be 2 and the other way, 2-5, and so we're all right where we're at. Winning spoils you a little bit, and you want to keep on winning. But the 3 teams we got beat in a row to, Cumberland was better than us. The other Cumberland, Tennessee, and Bethel, we're just as good as they were, and we're all right. We just. Again, we talk about it every time you get on this show. This Mid-South Conference is not an easy task.
Yeah, absolutely, it is tough. It is the SEC of the NAI. Every week you better come to play. Coach, we talk about 3 straight losses. We talk about a team that's been on the verge. You say if you start accepting losses, you're going to find something else to do. Got to say, we're with you. If you start accepting losses, we're going to find something else to do too. But take us into the coach's office. Take us into Dudley Hilton's head. 3 straight losses. Yes, you could be 5-2. How do you keep your players motivated?
Well, again, Andrew, we talked about it before. They're here for education, and they got to go to the chemistry class and the math class and the algebra, and they got more important things to sit here and wallow in a loss. And no, I make myself wallow in it something because I'm not a golfer, I'm not that much of a fisherman, I'm a football coach, so I have to wallow in it, But these students don't have to wallow in it. They got things they got to keep on going, and their parents sent them here to get an education, not to be professional football players. So they can handle it a lot better than I can. I just but my biggest thing is the film don't lie. What you do on the film is how you play, and and that's what I've started doing a little bit better at, watching films with some of my coaches and trying to ask them why we're doing this, why are we accepting this player, why are we, and right now my coaches are responding to me, and that's what I got to keep doing. I got to keep coaching coaches and say, is this what we're teaching them, and we got to do a better job at that.
It's a young team. It's a banged up team. Through the injuries, we've seen some other players emerge, and they get some playing time. They've taken advantage of it, and we've seen some guys that have risen to the occasion. Is that a positive you can take out of some of the injuries you've teams faced?
Yeah, we've not folded our 10. I feel like a couple years ago, Pikeville could easily have this many injuries. They might have folded their 10th,
sure.
But we haven't folded their 10th. We was very competitive down there Saturday. We lost most of our defensive players. We're sitting right here we had a good defensive line team coming back. We have none of them. They didn't really start the season, and but now we've had top of even the second four we're putting in there. Now they're all gone. So we're hurting on that aspect of it, but we're still feeling a team that's very competitive. Even the score didn't show it the other day. We're going right there for the half. We're within 14-3, and we kicked a field goal there to pull us within 14-3, and then we just go down and have a young man to miss a tackle and give him an easy touchdown. But we go in at halftime 21-3. We're very competitive. We come out second half, and our youth and injuries just all caught up with us, and we just couldn't get things going. They kicked off to us offensively, and we just just couldn't get that one big spark, that one big catch, that one big play to get us, when you're down, you got to have something
Sure.
to lift you up. And we're hurting right now to having something to lift us up as far as a big play. And we didn't get it the second half, and we got down so far, the big play didn't matter then. I mean, you get a big long touchdown. That don't matter when you're down 35-3,
Right.
or 40-3. So it takes more than that to lift you up. But we've got to have something to lift us up more early in the game, pick up a fumble, run in for a touchdown, or make a big-time play, catch early in the game or something to give us a little bit more lift. Right now, other teams are seeing us down a little bit, and they smell that blood. And when you smell that blood, Andrew, you just I've done it many times to other people, but now I'm on the other end of the stick, and I know I can see we're bleeding a little bit, and we got to stop the blood and we bleeding, and we got to just tighten our belts up and go to work a little bit more.
Folks that aren't used to it, it's not a good taste, and it's something that you can't get used to.
No, you can't. Again, I was like I said, in high school, I got beat one time 75-0, and by Herbie Phelps in my old Kentucky home. That's probably way before y'all's time, and remember that. But Herbie Phelps went on and played at Alabama, and just a heck of a football player. I think he scored 60, I don't know how many points that night, and but people like Don Gullett scored 60. He didn't score that many against me, but back then, I got my shares of brains beat out by Bardstown, my old Kentucky home. And then when I got in coaching, I done my share of beating people down, and
right.
I'm sure a lot of people that's knows Dudley Hilton, they say, well, you're getting your paybacks now, But again, I was, we're going to get this football program where we got to play a lot more confidence right now. We're lacking a little confidence, and we just got to pick up our spirits and go forward.
It's the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. We talk University of Pikeville Bears football. How about that? We got a Cincinnati Reds reference out of the old coach right there. Don Gullett, Kell High School in Greenup County, scored 11 touchdowns. The coach knew that. And there's a little high school history for you. and a tie to the Reds are in the playoffs. Coach, 3 straight losses coming off a loss to Bethel, a team that's beat up. Could the off week come at a better time?
No, we need this off week and hope we can. We had a great practice this morning, and you know, we getting some kids back healthy, and you know, we just got to get them back in shape and ready to go, and hopefully we can turn up each side of the ball. The offense needs to turn up, the defense needs to turn up, our special teams need to turn up, and you know, just hopefully we can you know, keep going at it and keep working at it.
We're going to put Bethel to bed. We're going to take a look at some highlights. Still to come, we'll talk with wideout Shante Zachary. Also, we'll go defensive and a freshman out of Perry County Central, Matt Robinson, and one of the newest coaches in the U-Pike program, Kenyatta McCoy. It's all part of the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. When we come back, we'll take a look at the highlights from Bethel. The Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless on Z-Rock 107.5 and Pike TV. Welcome back in. It is the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, joined by the coach of our University of Pikeville Bears, Dudley Hilton, as we put Bethel to bed. Long road trip for the Bears and come home with a 57-17 loss. And, Coach, you take some positives, you take some injuries, an off week coming up. Let's put Bethel to bed. We take a look at some highlights, and there were some highlights in this game. Just missing a couple that could have been game changers, as we'll go to the highlights now. Looks like we'll get things started on the defensive side.
All right, defense played very well early. I'll tell you, we probably played one of as good as we played all year early, and that's Crutcher made a big hit on the quarterback. We made 2 big goal line stamps. Here's a pass out to a man. That's your
Trey Bartlett, I believe.
Yeah, Trey Bartlett came up and made a big hit right there.
Bartlett and Crutcher both stepping up,
yeah,
getting a chance to play because of injuries.
We don't get many turnovers, but you can see right there is a good lick. I think that was
34. We've seen that before.
Yeah, I've seen him, and I don't know who got the fumble. We caused them to have a couple of good turnovers, and just kind of kept giving her, giving her offense, trying to give them a chance. Here's a big fake punt by Jared Harris. He got about 12 yards, and we just. We give the defense give them pretty good things there early, about 5 or 6 times. We just couldn't get a big offensive play going early.
Gutsy play call. Who made that fake punt
I don't know, man.
Boy, that's gutsy.
Here's Trevor finally. I mean, to me, this is one of the biggest play of the game right there. And Trevor hit the heel boy out there, and just a good timing pattern. And that sure looks like we need some more of those big plays right there.
When the offense clicks, it truly clicks.
Yeah. Here's Seth. He gets another 100-yard game, makes a good cutback, and he gets out there in space where he can run. And a lot of our biggest problem right now are running backs getting hit in the backfield before they get started. If we can get them started, Andrew, they can run.
Miller, of course, does a tremendous job in the field. He makes guys miss and picks up big yardage. Knows the north-south run.
Yeah, I think that's next step, and looks like. Let's see who else on there.
You've got Matt Robinson.
Matt Robinson's right there on the big play. Here's a big goal line stance right here. Look how many kids. You don't see none of the Pike boys in the end zone right there. All the defense is on this side of the goal line, and that's a good sign, Andrew, when you can keep your defense out of the end zone.
How scary is that? Robinson, a freshman, John Dudley, a sophomore, those 2 guys making the stop there.
We bring Reese in, and Reese came in, and there's Amos making a big catch. I thought Reese Browning came in and just made made some big plays for us. There's the Jordan Amos, and he comes back. I think he hits Jeremy Hill right here on a slant pattern or a stop and go. Or he's in back of the end zone. That's what it is. Make a big play right there. I think that's our first touchdown, and Reese Browning did that.
It's a big-time pass right there. He's not the most mobile guy, but he's got a strong arm and he's very accurate as well. And on the money.
But you can see right now we're down and we started moving. But here's who's that? I don't know who all made the tackle there, but it's Steph again, and I think Matt Robinson was on that tackle too.
Robinson and Hilton, names that were mentioned a lot Saturday.
And that's a great play right there. Reese Browning did a great job, made a good fake, and he hits Jeremy Hill out there again for 10 yards.
Hill picks up big yardage.
Yeah, big yards on that.
See Cam Nolan get involved as well. A
Yeah.
couple of big catches late.
Yeah, and he makes a good run, breaks a tackle right there, and gets the extra 5 yards for us.
A lot stronger than he looks, and
Yeah.
he's trouble for some DBs.
I think it's another catch he makes right here too. But again, Reese came in and got a lot of valuable experience right there, and did a lot of great things for us.
Young programs have to grow up. Sometimes it takes a loss for that growth to happen. As much as we'd like to see the wins to grow through, but losses, you've got some injuries, you've got some guys that have gotten more playing time because of those injuries in front of them. How close is this team to being back to somewhat near full health coming off the off week?
Again, we're still missing one or two offensive linemen. We've had a little bad luck in the backfield. We don't know Hunter Adams' situation, exactly where we're going to stand with him. His football career might be over. I don't know. We're still waiting on some things there, but but we still got some young kids we're hoping to bring on and on that. But defensively. J.K. Hall's still out. J.K. was a big plus for us early in the year. Rodney Dantes, we had him on the show. Sure. He's been injured and not been able to play, and he's a big plus for us. Then Taylor Woods. How many times we sat here and talked about Taylor Woods?
Right.
And I don't know. Taylor's practiced right now, and hopefully he'll be back. But we're still banged up, and hopefully we still get some of them back. But thank goodness for the off week.
And it's not excuses. It's not making excuses when you talk about a young football team. We've talked about it. There are upperclassmen, yes, but primarily a lot of your key players are freshmen and sophomores. You've got a young team, you start suffering some injuries, and the depth is exposed in a young team that's still trying to grow into a program. That doesn't happen overnight.
Right, and again, if we could have start winning a little bit more, then our injuries might not be as bad as it was. And it's contagious, and hopefully we can. We don't want to play nobody that's injured, but hopefully they can tough it up a little bit more and go. Right now, we just got to get tougher at it and overcome some of our injuries, and some of them are, the season ending. We sit here and talk about injuries. Shante's, our big wide out there, Shante's,
Johnson,
and got hurt there Saturday, and his football season might be over. We're not 100% sure, but just for this year. So
sure.
that's a big plus. And again, right now we don't have the depth to take them place, but
right.
But we're still battling hard. We're going to battle hard with our coaching staff and with their players, and we're going to keep going after people.
Old school coach once told me there's a difference between an injury and pain, and football players will play through pain. You don't expect them to play through injuries.
Right, there you go.
Old school coach right there. He agrees with me. He got a little chuckle out of him there. Also had an old school coach once tell me that pain's temporary, losses are permanent.
Oh, you go.
They never come off your record. University of Pikeville head coach Dudley Hilton, as the Bears 3-4 now in the season. Off week comes at an opportune time. Number 2, Georgetown, the next opponent, October 20th. We put Bethel to bed. We're going to talk to a coach with the University of Pikeville Bears, one of the assistant coaches, Kenyatta McCoy, running backs and special teams coach. Also a couple of players. We'll talk with freshman Matt Robinson out of Perry Central and Shante Zachary, product of Bell County High School. He's a sophomore. That's all still to come on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless.
The University of Pikeville has developed a Master of Business Administration with you in mind. Whether you want to embark on a new career path, learn to do your job better, or increase your earning potential, the MBA program at the University of Pikeville is ready to help you advance. Designed for the working professional, you don't have to put your life on hold to come back to school. It's your time, your university. UPike MBA.
Welcome back in the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, and we change gears now. We've talked with the coach. We've put last week's game to bed. We've talked about injuries, and still to come, we have a couple of players. My favorite part of the show, talking with players and the assistant coaches. Guys we don't get to spend a lot of time with normally, but get into the head of those guys. Talk about how they arrived here, their future, their football past, and fans and viewers, they have a chance to meet these guys on a personal basis, guys you see on the field from week to week. We're talking University of Pikeville Bears football, and we talk with one of the assistant coaches now, running backs coach, special teams coordinator, and equipment coordinator. This guy's got a lot of hats. Kenyatta McCoy, and welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thank you for having me.
Kenyatta, if you could just take us through your background. Let's talk about where you played football, and from there into coaching, how you arrived in the coaching ranks.
I took a scholarship to UT Chattanooga back in 1993, way back when, and my mom got sick, so I left, and I came back in 95. So when I came back in 95, I just decided I'd coach Pop Warner football and thought that would be enough, and we were successful, so I got a junior high school job and had a little success there, got a high school job. So I thought, hey, coaching is easy. You can win on every level. So I took a college job, and we didn't win.
Right.
So went over to Murray State and thought that would be a step in the right direction. We didn't win there either. So got to Kentucky State. We won a little bit, had a little success, and things changed. Program went in a different direction, and Coach Hilton gave me a job here, so I was happy to come.
Dudley Hilton, how much did you know about Coach Hilton before you arrived in Pikeville?
I read about him when he first got the job here because I saw the job posted and I was checking out, University of Pikeville, where is that? And then the announcement came. I was like, he's an all-time winningest coach in Kentucky, so they ought to be pretty good there in a couple of years. So,
guy's a legend, used to winning.
Yeah.
He's having a tough time right now.
We all are.
And it's not to make any kind of statement about the coaches. It's just winners are used to winning.
Yes.
And anyone who has become accustomed to winning, when you face some losses, it causes you to second guess. The taste of losing. How's the atmosphere in the coaches' offices after the last 3 games?
We're still positive. We understand that we got a lot of young kids, so we have to teach.
Right.
And when they're young, they're not as strong as some of these guys. And when you look at, speaking of Bethel, their defensive line, those 3 guys were big, they were strong, they're grown men.
Right.
We're still playing freshmen on the front line. So as that time goes and they go through an off season, they get stronger. Next year, you start seeing those guys go up against other guys. Now they're more confident because they know what they can do in the weight room. So they're stronger. They've been in the system for another year. They understand it better. They know where they're going. So right now it's just a teaching phase, and we have to keep them positive, keep them thinking about the process. It's not about the wins and losses just yet for them. It's about the process. Can I learn what I'm supposed to do? Can I get stronger? Can I do it consistently? And once you start getting that, the wins just start rolling in.
We've talked about several shows how close this team is to being really good with the wins and losses, because there's some very talented young players. But when you're going against redshirt juniors and redshirt seniors, fifth-year guys, fourth-year guys, and we've got a true freshman and a linebacker we'll talk to tonight, Matt Robinson, a guy he's seeing his first college action, going against a guy who's got 4 years on him. Those 4 years make a big difference. How big of a difference is that? Let's try to let our listeners and viewers know how important those 4 years are.
Most programs, when you come in, let's say that you're an offensive lineman, you probably get that kid at 250 pounds.
Right.
By the time he's a junior or a senior, he's sitting there at 315 pounds. That's 65 pounds that he gains from the time that he walked in your door to the time he's about to leave. So when you say, well, they're freshmen, but they've been playing football for a long time. They have.
Yes.
But that's 65 pounds difference. And most kids, when they come in, they're benching 325, 400, but they don't have good technique.
Right.
So you have to break that back down. Where these upperclassmen, they're benching 400, they're squatting almost 700 with proper form, proper technique. So they got another 300 pounds of strength on them, plus 65 pounds of weight. it's a world of difference right now.
Then you take the experience factor as well, and it's truly it's almost as if a junior high team was playing a high school team. Not any disrespect to the young players, but it's just a fact of life that you're playing more experienced teams. Bethel, we saw it with Cumberland U as well. A lot of experienced players, redshirt juniors and seniors, 4th and 5th year guys against freshmen. This team's growing up. This program's growing up. Folks, don't give up on this team just yet. Talking with, of course, the running backs and special teams coordinator, Kenyatta McCoy, and you arrived at Pikeville. Dudley Hilton. He's a legend in Kentucky high school ranks. How's it been coaching with and under Coach Hilton?
It's a learning experience. Every day, he shows you something new. He makes you look at something from a different perspective because he's seen so much football. When we first talked about the punt team, he showed me what he wanted to do,
right.
And he asked me, how's that compared to other places? And when you really look at it, he's running spread punt, and this is a punt that he's been running for years, but all he's really running is spread punt that everybody's made famous again, but he's got tighter splits. But it's the same concept. So he makes you look at it from a different way, where if you just watch football on Saturday, you watch ESPN, you say, hey, I want to do that. That's a great idea. And then you talk to Coach Hilton, he's like, all that is this, and he shows it to you, and I mean, it opens up your eyes to what football really is.
Still blocking and tackling.
That's it.
That's what it is, moving the football up and down the field. And a lot of the old school guys, they've got some ideas just with different looks now, and maybe a little different initial formation. Have to ask a question, because against Bethel, inside the 30-yard line, the Bears' own 30-yard line, and punting, we've seen the fake a couple of times. It's been successful this year. Who made that call? It was gutsy. In the first quarter, nobody had scored, and a fake punt called.
Coach Hilton made that call.
Wow.
Because if I made it, I'd probably be fired. Wouldn't be talking to me today.
There you go, Coach. It is. It's a gutsy call, but it's the kind of call that can provide a spark, and I'm sure that's what Coach Hilton was leaning towards there. Running backs coach, Seth Miller, Zeke White, Chris Perry, Hunter Adams. You had some depth. Now the injury bug has hit a little bit. Not quite as deep with the running backs now, but let's talk about your stable.
The beauty about the running back group that we have right there at University of Pikeville is, yes, we had Hunter, we had Chris Perry, Seth is still rolling them out, Zeke is healthy, but there's a young kid, Jalen Hunter, very impressed with him. He got his first action Saturday,
right.
Did some things well, did some things bad,
sure.
So we're back to teaching. We have Brian Rankin, he's a pericentric head, he's going to be fine. We have another kid, Jeffrey Pruitt, right out of Belfry, he's going to be fine. And Will Thomas Collins, great kid, he's going to be a great fullback for us, going to add a lot of speed to that position for us. So the stable is still stocked. It's teaching. It's relying on those older kids right now because the young ones are still learning.
Sure. And a year ago, we couldn't have talked about a stable. We had about a 2-horse race last year, and you had Hunter Adams, who was playing a wideout last year, who got pulled into a running back spot late in the year because of lack of depth. Young team, still developing depth, building a program. That's what it's all about, because you rattled off 9 or 10 names there. That's a lot deeper than we've been, and it's certainly growth of a program. Special teams coordinator, we've talked about the fake punt. Coach Hilton, we'll give him credit for that. But good play out of special teams this year. Grayson Quick, he's got to be a big part of that. He's done a tremendous job kicking the football. He hasn't missed an extra point, I don't guess. He's been good from long range with the field goal. And your punt coverage has been good as well. Special teams, grade them at this point in the season.
I say we're average. We're a C+, B- right now. There's times where you get 100.
Sure.
Okay, they do it exactly the way you teach it. A couple weeks ago, Jordan Amos scores a touchdown. It was done the way it was taught.
Right.
Then you look up against Bethel, and they return one from the 1-yard line all the way to the 40. So now you're grading them at an F. So it's up and down because they are so young.
Still a growing process.
Growing process, but as we get towards the end of the season, I expect better grades every week, and then next year, the sky's the limit for us.
There you go. Kenyatta McCoy, he's a running backs coach, special teams coordinator, and equipment coordinator. Tough job when you've got 100+ in pads every out there on the practice field.
Yes.
And then you traveling 70.
Traveling 70, and they're young, like I said. Sometimes we forget girdles and thigh pads and knee pads, and you got to make sure you're stocked up on everything.
There you go. Also, you recruit the Northern Kentucky area for this program. With college recruiting, guys have to take certain areas and territories to be able to cover that. Northern Kentucky, it's a hotbed of recruiting. How has UPike been received from recruits in that area?
Right now, I'll go out tomorrow for the first time and talk to the kids, but the coaches are very excited to have us out. I also have the Woodford County and Franklin County area as well, and there's a couple of kids that are already very excited about coming up here. They've sent film, so we'll continue to evaluate and get the best kids to bring into the program.
You've got a big tight end that comes out of one of Northern Kentucky's best programs in Kyle Wells as well. Might be a good selling point.
That'd be a great selling point. I have to go to the Highlands tomorrow, actually, so I'll see how that plays out for us.
Not a bad place to visit. #1 ranked team in their class, as they are many times. A lot of football talent there. You're tuned to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. We've been talking with Kenyatta McCoy, running backs and special teams coordinator with the University of Pikeville Bears. Coach, welcome to Pikeville, and we look forward to your long tenure here with Coach Hilton and the Bears.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Kenyatta McCoy, running back special teams coach with your University of Pikeville Bears. It's the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. When we return, we'll go offensive, and we'll talk with Shante Zachary. He's a sophomore out of Bell County, when the Dudley Hilton Show returns on Z-Rock 107.5 and Pike TV. Welcome back in. The Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. We're talking University of Pikeville Bears football. I'm Andrew Joyce, and my favorite part of the Dudley Hilton Show, no offense, Coach, or coaches for that matter, but I love talking to players. Get a chance to talk to the guys that we see on the field every week with the helmets off, looking just like a normal college student. And Shante Zachary, a 6-foot sophomore out of Pineville, KY, Bell County High School. He knows how to find Log Mountain, and I'm sure brings back a lot of great memories. Shante Zachary, welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, Bell County High School product, Dudley Hilton. He is revered in Bell County. I believe the field is actually named after him there at Log Mountain, isn't it?
Just named after him, yeah.
So you played college football, tremendous high school career. Let's talk about Shante Zachary and take us back to your earliest days. When did you first put on the pads and play competitive football?
Oh, well, kindergarten is actually when I started playing football. I was 4, and from that day on, I just continued playing it and played ever since.
Played for a legend, Dudley Hilton. What was that like, playing high school under Coach Hilton?
Amazing, a blessing. I look at Coach Hilton as more than just a coach. He's more of a role model, a mentor. It's just an unreal experience to have, because he's such a great guy, a great coach, and a great motivator. And I wouldn't have rather played for anybody else.
Of course, you come to the University of Pikeville, and one of the wideouts in the offensive scheme under Al Holland. What's that like, playing for a guy like Al Holland that likes to sling it around all over the field?
Well, it's a lot different from what I've grew up with. We grew up with 3 running backs and running the ball down your throat, and coming here and playing for Coach Holland has been a great experience. You know, he knows his offense very well. He's young, but he knows exactly what he wants to do, and we like to sling it around, and that's fun for me because I'm playing wide out. So,
of course, you are playing wide out, and in Coach Holland's offensive set, How tough is it for a young guy to learn the system, to be able to walk on the field and feel confident that you know what's going on?
The playbook's pretty difficult. I had a pretty difficult time learning it when I first got here,
Sure.
but there's a rhyme and reason to everything that Coach Allen has put in, and the play calls they're all pretty similar, and there's packages that go with this one and goes with the other one, and the routes are pretty much all the same. They're just different combinations, and that's pretty much it about the playbook, and that's it.
There you go. Shante Zachary, he's a 6-foot sophomore out of Bell County High School, played high school football for Coach Hilton as well. So he knows the old coach just a little bit. Shante, let's back up for just a moment. We've talked about your football career and when it started, when you put the pads on, what you've done so far at the University of Pikeville. But let's talk about the student part of Shante Zachary. What's your major, and what do you plan to do in the future?
Well, right now I'm an education major, and I plan on teaching and coaching. So,
where'd you get that idea from?
Coach Hilton.
Been around the game. He's been a good influence on you.
Yeah, I've played 3 sports all my life. It's pretty much all I know, and makes me happy. I enjoy doing it, so I enjoy kids.
Talk about the other sports you play.
Played basketball and baseball in high school. And
any thoughts of playing another sport on the college level?
no.
Yeah, Kelly Wells.
Definitely not baseball.
Kelly Wells, he's loaded up with guards. I thought, maybe you could DH a little bit for the baseball team.
The baseball team's a 24/7 job, 365 days. I don't know if I could do that.
They really get after it.
Yeah.
A lot of work. University of Pikeville football program, a lot of work as well. How different is it, college football? Let's talk about that from a player's perspective. High school, all right, you spend some time in the weight room. After school, you'd have practice for a little while, maybe some film time here and there. The college game for a player, how much more time is involved in as a high school player?
It's a lot more time. It's time consuming, actually. We'll go to practice in 6 in the morning, go back, go to class, and then come back, have meetings or have lifting, and put in about an hour and a half of film pretty much every day, and it's a whole lot different from high school football where we'd come in on Sundays and maybe watch an hour of football film.
Sure.
But it's a completely different feel, and it's been a good experience.
How tough is that 6 a.m. practice?
Oh man, it's rough. I mean, the worst part's just waking up. But once you get out there, you wake up and you have a good time and get to go at it with the other players.
Shante Zachary, got to ask the question because you're up for practice at 6. What's your earliest class?
8 a.m.
And no problem making that class, is it?
No, it actually helps.
I guarantee it.
You're already up, so you might as well go to class.
And you probably have some other students that are in those classes with you that are dragging in. You can tell they just rolled out of bed. And you just laugh at those guys. You can laugh at those guys. Shante Zachary, he's a key member of this Bears offensive unit. He's a 6 foot, 212-pound sophomore out of Bell County High School, and we look for great things out of Shante Zachary the rest of your career here at the University of Pikeville. Good luck against Georgetown a couple weeks from now, the rest of the year, and in the rest of your career here at Pikeville. It's been our pleasure watching you play in high school and so far here at UPike. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Shante Zachary, he's a wideout with the University of Pikeville Bears. We'll go defensive when we return, and we'll talk with another mountain guy. That's right. It's Matt Robinson out of Perry Central High School. He's an old Commodore. He's up next on the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Hi, I'm Elisha Justice, a transfer student here at the University of Pikeville. I will be a junior next year, and I'm majoring in business administration. I grew up right in Dorton, went to high school at Shelby Valley, and I'm a really big family person. Looking forward to be back home and be around all my family and all my friends and to play basketball here at the University of Pikeville. I'm Elisha Justice. Join me at the University of Pikeville.
Welcome back in the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, and we continue in the Bears Den, talking with UPike football players out of uniform with the helmets off, and now joined by Matt Robinson, a 6 foot, 235-pound freshman out of Buckhorn, Kentucky. He's a Perry Central Commodore. Matt, welcome to the Dudley Hilton Show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we talk about your background, your playing background, and we want to get there. But first, let's talk about the classroom. Matt Robinson, a freshman, a lot of times a freshman, they don't really know what they want to do. What's your declared major at this moment, and what are your plans for the future?
Right now I'm an education major, and I probably want to go into coaching too.
Coaching, it's a choice of a lot of student athletes, guys that have played a lot of sports in their career. Have you had a coach in your career prior to the University of Pikeville that's been an influence on you?
Yeah, one of my middle school coaches and my high school coach, right? Justin Haddix and Keith Berry.
All right, so obviously a positive influence on you.
Yes, sir.
Matt Robinson, take us back to the time that you played your first competitive football.
4th grade in Louisville.
So you put on the pads then, 4th grade. A lot of these guys, they play kindergarten, first grade. That's the flag stuff.
Yeah.
But 4th grade, that's with the pads. Playing Pee Wee or Pop Warner football in Louisville, how competitive was at that age of 4th grade?
They had, I guess for 4th graders, they had some speed back then. And, I still recognize some names, from my senior year. I still recognize names, down in the Louisville schools. And
Sure.
they're still doing good. So it was pretty competitive.
And you played at that age in Louisville. When did you arrive in the mountains?
6th grade.
6th grade, and you played where?
But Perry Central.
All right. So Perry Central guy, he's a guy that we watched just tear people up defensively during his high school career. He arrives at the University of Pikeville, and I don't think anyone expected a lot out of Matt Robinson this year. True freshman, playing in the Mid-South Conference, but we got a little taste of it last year. John Dudley Hilton, another linebacker, teammate of yours from the mountains, as a freshman, he sprung onto the scene and did a tremendous job. Matt Robinson, are you surprised how much playing time you've had this year?
I wasn't really expecting a lot. I was just trying to get used to the system, and when they needed me and called on me, I'd be there for them. So it's just a big difference from going from high school defense to the college defense. Just you got to learn a lot more assignment than I had to last year.
Playing for Dudley Hilton, how different is it than playing for your high school coaches or any of the coaches in your career?
It's he knows what he's talking about. He's been around the game for a long time, and everyone in high school football in Kentucky knows about Dudley Hilton,
right? And
how good how much success he's had. So that's one of the reasons I came, because I know he knows what he's talking about, and that he's a winner.
I was going to talk about how you were recruited at Perry Central, because obviously I'm sure there were other schools that were interested in Matt Robinson. Matt Robinson was one of the stars of the mountains last year, so you got a lot of attention. What made you decide on the University of Pikeville outside of Coach Hilton?
Well, I know a bunch of boys like Jordan Amos and Demetri Travis and Corey Martin that I've played for, and we're all really close still. And that was one of the reasons I came in. I wanted to be part of the program and help them on the rise.
You feel like this program is on the rise?
Yes, sir.
Young program, and of course, I think you had 7 solo tackles against Bethel. John Dudley Hilton maybe with 8 solos on Saturday, but both of you guys playing at that linebacker spot seemed to be in on the highlights quite a bit against Bethel. As you have gotten some more playing time now as a true freshman, how close is Matt Robinson to feeling completely comfortable on the field?
I don't know yet. I just got to get some more reps, and it's all about reps and reps and reps, because it's a whole nother level right now. So I just got to get more comfortable with all the scheme and stuff.
Got to ask you a question, because you're a guy that's used to winning. Dudley Hilton, a guy that's used to winning, and winners don't like to lose. 3 straight losses for your team. What's the mood like? What's the attitude like from the players?
As a defense last game, we knew we could play with them, we could stop them. It's just, like he said, minor mistakes. And it's just something we got to keep correcting on film and going in meetings and correcting that. And we're still got a positive attitude on the rest of the season. And Georgetown, they're ranked number 2, but I think we're going to get them.
Coming up a couple of weeks from now, and the attitude's good in the locker room. We're looking forward to a great finish out of this team. Matt Robinson, he is a 6 foot, 235-pound freshman out of Perry County Central. Commodore fans, get to the Hambley Complex October 20th when the Bears will take on number 2 Georgetown. You'll see number 24 there at the linebacker spot for this U-Pike team. Matt Robinson, it's been our pleasure to watch you so far. We're looking for a long career in black and orange, and best of luck against Georgetown the rest of the season and the rest of your career. We want you back on the Dudley Hilton Show real soon.
Thank you for having me.
Matt Robinson. He's out of Perry Central High School, one of the linebackers, true freshman, and one of the leading tacklers against Bethel. When we come back, we'll wrap up the Dudley Hilton Show. We'll talk with the legendary coach, Dudley Hilton. He is our coach of the University of Pikeville Bears. The Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless on Z-Rock 107.5 and Pike TV.
The biggest thing about Pike, you have that one-on-one with your teachers. You know everybody in your class. You have teachers who will work with you. If you need help, they'll stay after. It's a real good feeling. It's a family atmosphere. I mean, everybody here is super nice. Will do anything in the world to help you. And it's just that homey feeling. You don't feel away, especially as a freshman. I mean, that's huge. I'm Jennifer. Join me at the University of Pikeville.
Welcome back in the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Andrew Joyce, rejoined by the coach of the University of Pikeville Bears, Dudley Hilton. And Coach, I don't know, sometimes I get surprised because we get to see these players out of uniform. They look like college students. They are college students, and sometimes we forget that. When they've got the headgear on, they've got the pads on, and we forget that these are college students. They're here to get an education and work toward their career. A couple of great ones again tonight. Shante, Zachary, Matt Robinson, mountain kids, and guys that have been influenced by coaches they've had growing up. And now they've got another one that's influencing them.
Well, you know, just having Shante for 4 years at Bell County High School and helped me win a state championship his senior year, and you know, just 15-0, and he was the man behind the center. He did everything for us, and you know, and just had a great career, and that coming over here and getting to coach him again, that's a great thing. But I'm watching Matt Robinson. You know, we're just very fortunate. Just a young man, some motor runs. He's got a nose for the ball, and just watching him and John Dudley out there practice this morning, just having a great time together and playing. And both of them are very competitive. Both of them know, but you know, with the other kids. But we need leaders like this, and you know, Matt's going to be a big plus to our football program for the future, and even for this season. But then having Coach McCoy, who's had some experience in coaching and been around at a few places, and having his credentials going to help us also. But we got a lot of upbeats. So sometimes we get on here and just talking about the wins and losses, but I think we're winning every day, Andrew, and that's the way I'm going to start looking at things, you know, as far as the scoreboard on Saturday afternoon. But the young men we got and the drive they've got and the coaches we got, I think University of Pike was winning with their football program as far as doing what we need to do with young men and going in the right direction. I'm
pretty sure in the history of the University of Pikeville program, there are no players in the NFL, nor have there been in the NFL. These guys, their future is going to be teaching, coaching. We've got biology majors that are going to go into medicine or pharmacy. Or these guys, their future is in the world. It's not necessarily the next level of football as much as they want to. It is more about than just wins and losses, but developing character in young men. Yeah, I think you've been around Governor Patton too, because that's his favorite, and he's 100% right. And you know, when I came over here, and he pre-warned me, and he texted me the other day after the game and told me to keep my chin up because he knew what kind of competitor he was. But his whole goal and vision for this university was get kids education in the mountain, and we're not going to be a pro franchise or anything right here, and I can see what he's talking about more and more every day. But you know, but what you said, you had to hear Governor Patton say that, because that's never heard him say that. But I got to tell you, it is about building kids for the future. But that can be done winning on the field as well. You're right, and that's what we got to do. We can't accept this losing. We got to be good in the classroom and be good on the football field. Right now, we got some kids that are not very good in the classroom and not very good on the football field. But we're getting a majority of them being a little bit better on the football field, a little bit better in the classroom, and I think we all work towards that. Then true, we're going to be a better football program, and we're going to be a better student also. There you go. This program is headed in the right direction. I have full faith and confidence in that, and the University of Pikeville Bears is a team you can be proud of. The players, both in the classroom, in the community, and on the field. He's our coach, Dudley Hilton. Coach, off week comes at a good time. We'll see you next October 20th, number 2 Georgetown, and look forward to that, maybe a bounce back.
Well, I'm glad we got 2 weeks to prepare for it, and hope we we'll be ready both on and with our injuries all back and get after that bunch.
Let's get healthy. Let's get a win. Coach Dudley Hilton, thanks for being here tonight. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Andrew.
Dudley Hilton, he's our coach of the University of Pikeville Bears. You've been tuned to the Dudley Hilton Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless on Z-Rock 107.5 and Pike TV. Don't forget, the Bears next in action, October 20th at the Hambly Complex, number 2 Georgetown in town. It's a 1:30 kickoff. We'll see you there.